Dating in your 30s is not for the weak. Trust me.
After my first week of dating apps, I'm ready to give up.
If you're looking for like a finance 50 Shades of Patagonia vest guy, we're gonna start with the sports bars.
I don't know how much longer I can stand being single.
Older women are entering a dating pool they aren't used to, and they're struggling at it.
Have you noticed that on the dating apps that men in their 60s are looking for the younger woman?
Older women should consider dating younger men.
So everybody keeps asking me, what's it like being single and dating in your 30s?
Well, many of them aren't having a blast. For some reason, they're asking for good men. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
After my first week of dating apps, I'm ready to give up. Oh God, it's terrible out there. Cat lady forever.
Would you rather be single and alone over 35 or going through a divorce with children? I know what I would rather.
This is a question for the men. If you're not a man, keep scrolling. Okay, so men, why are we hating women? Why are we hating women? I feel like women are hating men and men are now hating women. They don't want to get married. They don't want to live with them. They, they just want to be single forever. Like, what's going on here? Are all you men into men now? Like, what's going on? I'm so confused. I feel like we're creating a divide here, folks. Can we come back together? I love men. And I want men to start loving women again. Like, I don't know. What do we need to do? Let me know and I can try to get the congregation together and we could try to move forward so we can all start loving each other again. I don't know. What am I missing? Can you please fill me in? I'm very, 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 very confused. Okay, thanks.
Well, men aren't hating women at all. They're just protecting their peace and mental health. Just because a lot of men are checking out of dating doesn't mean they hate women. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Many men still desire connection, love, and partnership, but they're tired of constantly being misunderstood, taken advantage of, or made to feel like they're never enough. I do agree that the sexes are growing further apart, and that's largely because of so many women who, for years, told men to stay away, calling them toxic, dismissing their efforts, mocking their emotions, and even romanticizing a life without men altogether. Now we're in a place where men have started listening. They've pulled back. They're no longer fighting for the attention of someone who doesn't seem to value them. So many women chose the bear over the man, and instead of healing, many have allowed that pain to turn into hatred toward all men.
I have never agreed with the if he wanted to, he would. Because you want to and you don't. Just because he doesn't do it doesn't mean he doesn't want to do it. And also just because he doesn't do it doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. How about we grow up and we express how we feel loved and communicate with our partner? And maybe that would solve a lot of issues that a lot of relationships face. Your partner cannot read your mind, and what you might want him to do might be different than what he thinks you want him to do if you haven't expressed that to him.
I agree.
I was a little surprised when he took me up on it, but I got my wallet out, I brought my card. You just don't see it very often where I offer to pay for half of the dinner or drinks and then he takes me up on it. The whole finance part of dating is probably one of the most confusing parts for me and the part that gives me the most anxiety. It is a little bit unfair of me to offer to pay half of the bill, but then when the guy takes me up on it, I don't talk to him again. It is a bit of a red flag if a guy doesn't pay for the first date. Do you expect it on the first date? And if you don't do it, I'm not gonna talk to you again. When you're on a date and the check comes, do you offer to pay?
Why am I not surprised? So you guys are on a date and you offered to pay. But because he accepted your offer, it became a red flag for you, and then you don't talk to him again. Make it make sense. You offered, not him. And when he respectfully accepted, you used that moment to silently judge his worth, question his masculinity because he didn't perform the mental gymnastics you expected him to? How is it a red flag for a man to accept your offer? You offered, and when he treated you like an equal, you used it against him. It's not about money, it's about control, power, and a fantasy where the man has to guess the right answer to every unspoken rule. These women treat dating like a trap, setting up scenarios just to see if a man fails. And the sad part is, even if he passes one test, there's always another waiting right around the corner. These aren't relationship builders, they're self-sabotagers. And then they wonder why they can't find a real man. It's because the real ones see the games and walk away.
I can do it all. I just had to go to the gas station and fill my jerry can so that I can cut my grass. This is like reason 750 million that I would prefer to have a man in my life. So like he can go fill the jerry can. I don't mind cutting the grass. It's a nice chore. But like, why do I have to do all this by myself at 43?
So now I'm over 30. That means, dun dun dun, I'm expired. Or at least that's what the men keep telling me in my comments. So a lot of women might think, oh no, I actually don't think a lot of women think that. However, they think that we think that. They think we are absolutely devastated by men not wanting us anymore. Now, I'm 33, so I'm just wondering when the invisibility to men starts. Does that mean then soon I'll be able to walk down the street and not get catcalled? Does that mean that men will stop sexualizing me soon? Does that mean when I'm walking down the street and there's a group of guys, I won't have to cross the street or look busy on my phone anymore? Does that mean that I can go out to a bar and not have to worry about my drink being spiked? If so, then I can't wait to be expired. I can't wait to live a life completely invisible to men. I'm excited for it. I really am. Let's go, girl. Wear what we want to wear, and we will be invisible to men.
A lot of women don't have to think they're expired for them to be expired. The reality is, dating becomes harder for women as they get older, and that's just the truth. You can fight it, deny it, or dress it up in body positivity and empowerment speeches, but nature doesn't bend to feelings. Because when these women hit the dating world again, they feel the shift. They see the difference in attention, in the compliments, in the stares, or rather, the lack of them. The looks they used to get in their 20s are no longer there in their late 30s and 40s. She says, "I'm actually happy to become invisible. I'm glad men don't sexualize me anymore. But look at what you're wearing. If your cleavage is front and center, your whole aesthetic screams, 'Notice me.' You're not trying to be invisible. You're just upset that the attention isn't coming from the men you want anymore. You say you don't want to be seen that way, but your presentation says otherwise."
Okay, ladies, let's chat about this. Have you noticed that on the dating apps that men in their 60s are looking for the younger woman? And they expect that they can get it. Maybe it's because they have money. Maybe it's because they have still a little bit of good looks left. They're all looking for the younger woman. Well, go for it, guys. If you're truly looking for that someone special to spend and enjoy your time with, then you're missing the point. By 60, a woman has gone through menopause. She's figured out her weight change, her skin change. She's figured out her new look. She's embraced her new sexuality that she has back, and she has an amazing outlook on life. So guys, I have to say, I think you're missing it. It's right here in front of you, but you think you're looking for something different. But then again, maybe you're not the right match for us. We know ourselves, we know what we want to connect with, and maybe you're not ready for that.
Sometimes, as a girl who is 30 and single, I get really hard on myself for not being where society told me that I should be at this point in my life. But I constantly remind myself that when it comes to my dating life, and I feel like any single person can relate to this, I decided to take the route less traveled. And anyone who is paving the way in that regard it's gonna take a little bit longer. I could have married someone that I dated in high school. I could have married the nice guy that I met out of college, but I decided that I wanted to take a different route. I decided that I really valued travel. I really valued progressing in my career. I valued living in different cities. I valued embracing my friendships and meeting new connections. I wanted to go on first dates and do all of that. So that being said, it's gonna take a little longer to meet a partner who is going to match my vibration and value the things that I decided to pursue. That's why it's hard. It's not like we're behind in life. It's just that we decided to take another road. And so whenever I'm feeling really hard on myself, I remind myself of that. I almost like tell myself that as a mantra, and I'm willing to wait in order to not settle.
Sounds to me she fell for the feminist trap. She mentioned that she could have married the nice guy in high school, but traveling and advancing in her career were more important to her, so she chose that instead. Now look where she's at, sitting in a house by herself, coping, saying, it's just gonna take a little longer to find her man, when she had those options back then. That's the thing. She had the chance. A good man was right there, ready to build with her, but she believed the lie that there would always be time, that she could do what she wanted for years and still have that same man waiting when she was ready. But life doesn't work that way. The truth is, the market changes. Men move on. And while she was out there chasing experiences, the men she overlooked were growing, building and settling down, just not with her. Now she's older, alone, and trying to spin it like she's choosing this lifestyle.
4 ways to stop worrying about being 30 and single. Number 1, realize that you are in your prime, like your sexual prime, your career prime, all of the primes, you're in it right now. So maybe you don't have a partner, but you have everything else going for you. Number 2, understand that a lot of your friends are going to be getting divorced in the next few years, and a lot of people you don't know. So the pool of people to meet is going to be like big again, and there's going to be a lot of suitors. Number 3, unlike people who chose partners in their early 20s or even late 20s, you're choosing the person that you know for a fact is good for you because you know yourself by now. And number 4, and my personal favorite, you get to learn from a lot of other people's mistakes and hear about their issues while you don't have any.
Gentlemen, women love men that are solution oriented. A man that can solve your problems is such a turn on to us. Now, if you're unable to solve her problems, that's cool because we understand you're not Superman. So she may still date you. It's not the end of the world. However, if you're unable to solve her problems, don't create problems. Don't create inconveniences. That can be as small as her looking for parking for an hour and a half, and you didn't even give her a heads up about that. Don't do that. You invite her over your house, you know that she's not going to find parking, and you don't even tell her there's no parking lots where you live, and so she's just driving around for 2 hours, and you're chilling in your house. That's not what you do. What you do is let her know that you already know she's not going to find parking. So when she pulls up to your house, you will come out and you will both find parking, and then you will walk her to your house. That is what you do because that is a leader, that is taking initiative, and that is a turn on. That shows that you are considerate. That is what women want. We want to be with a man that makes our lives easier. And so when you're not making our lives easier, we may not trip over it. But when you are creating inconveniences, that is when the problems start to arise, because that can quickly translate as you being inconsiderate, especially if you are being inconsiderate so early on in the relationship.
I agree to a certain degree, but let's be real. If all a woman is bringing you is problems to solve, then you need to get rid of her before she becomes a bigger problem. Because at some point, it's not a relationship anymore. It's damage control. The same way women want a man to make their lives easier, men want peace too. Men don't wake up hoping for drama, arguments, emotional roller coasters, or to be constantly fixing someone else's mess. We want support, not stress. We want someone who brings calm, not chaos. If being around her feels like walking on eggshells, if every conversation turns into a fight, if her presence drains you instead of uplifting you, that's not love, that's a liability. And no real man should stick around just to play the role of a therapist, provider, and emotional punching bag rolled into one.
So here's the thing. This whole thing with I grew up hearing men talk shit about older women or middle-aged women and all that stuff, and they prefer younger women. No. It's that now that I'm here, now I can talk. We don't want you, okay? I'm stressed out, and all I'm experiencing is hallucinations in my nose. That's crazy. Do you think that I want who has been dating with the same habits he started with when he was 12? Absolutely not. No. You are not that special. I don't care about your hopes and dreams. I don't give a I promise you I don't. You don't know what it's like to be bloated because you're mad. You don't know what that shit is like. Okay? So, all right? No. It's not that you don't want us, it's that we don't want you. And it has nothing to do with, younger women are better than older women. No, they think that they're mature and you're taking full-blown advantage of this shit. Pervert. Older women get fed up faster. And because, our body completely rejects you. And it requires you to actually have emotions and emotional intelligence and spiritual hygiene to engage with a woman who has gained wisdom over time. So it's, again, my point exactly. It's not that they don't want us. It's that we don't want them. So if you're like me, who's aging, don't feel bad that these fucking men are talking shit. They're always gonna talk shit. They're always gonna talk shit. You're still that bitch.
So she grew up seeing older men not wanting to date older women. And instead of learning from that, she followed in those same women's footsteps and ended up in the exact same position. Alone, frustrated, and angry. What she said was a complete lie. We see it every day. Older women begging the internet, asking where the good men are, and wondering why they can't find someone decent. They act like being single now is a choice, but their actions speak louder than words. Even when older women are dating, they often struggle to attract the kind of men they claim to want, the loyal, committed, emotionally available type. And why? Because back when they had the chance, the deck was stacked in their favor. Men didn't change the rules. Nature did. Men are biologically wired to look for youth, beauty, and femininity. And when women ignore that reality in their 20s, thinking they can hit pause and come back to dating when it's convenient, they often find out too late that it doesn't work like that.